was gonna say, I bet. Well,
All right.
good, good.
We're
Alina
live.
loves the horses.
Hey, Tom.
All right, welcome everybody to Daviess County Council, October 13th, 2021 meeting. As always, we'll start with the pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice.
First on the agenda is the meeting minutes from September 29th and 30th. Will everybody have a second to look through them if you haven't already? Yep. And then the joint meeting on September 16th with the commissioners. If no comments, questions, corrections?
I reviewed, I didn't see anything, so moved.
I saw on the, this would be the 29th meeting, there was the Town of Elnora budget adoption. The motion stated that it approved the Town of Odin, 22.
Good catch.
Yep.
Any other additions, corrections? Not, I have a first from Matt to approve minutes. Second?
Second.
Tom, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed?
I'll abstain. I was not here on the 16th.
Okay,
Gonna have to pass them anyway.
Mike abstains. Next, we need to fill some appointments. That was Dave and Joanne. First one is Daviess County Economic Development Council. Matt and I cannot serve on that, as we already are. So between the remaining four, whoever,
That's not the Economic Development Board that you and Matt sit on, that's just the Bond Council.
council, so what is this one?
It is,
Oh, yeah. Okay,
Gotcha.
which most likely there'll be a bond here in the next 18 months.
I could do that. I mean, if it's pretty
Okay.
limited. My schedule's a little tighter than it was, but I can handle that one. Unless somebody else really wants it, you can have it, doesn't matter.
That's fine. Do we have a second on Mike?
Somebody probably needs to nominate me after.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll make the nomination.
Matt nominated for Mike. He's the first, the second.
I'll second
Tom, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
I'll abstain, of course.
Yep, see. Redevelopment Commission, this is not the RDC. This is the RDC. Okay, well, Matt is already on that, and he's represented it, so I don't know why we're not continuing that. Be my motion, since he's there and he's already doing it, we would just continue with him.
Take over for Kent.
Okay,
Because I was there and it was,
but
Table that one and we'll go back and check
fine.
work in the
Sure.
trail.
even though those were, that's who they were, why not, how can we, I'll go ahead and replace it now.
If you've got Dave, can't we just go ahead and nominate Matt?
It really doesn't make any difference if it was, who it was.
Right.
So I guess since Matt's already on there, regardless of which one of the two he replaced, a motion to let Matt remain there.
I move that Matt remain on the redevelopment
Okay.
commission council.
First by Tom, second by Mike, all in favor?
Aye.
Community corrections.
You're welcome.
Yep, thank you.
I don't know if I'm allowed to nominate, but I think that would be a good position for Maryland. But
I nominate Marilyn.
I'll second that nomination.
first by Mike, second by Matt, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye.
Thanks, Marilyn.
Ah, you're welcome.
Regional Mental Health Advisory Board Council appointment.
That meets over at Good Sam over at Vincennes. I think they meet, I don't know if they meet quarterly. I think it's quarterly. I don't think they meet monthly, but
Let's just all don't jump at the same time.
Will you do it, Darren?
Yeah, I can.
Okay.
I'll nominate Darren for that position at the Regional Mental Health Advisory Board.
And I'll second it.
First by Tom, second by Marilyn, all in favor?
Aye.
Abstain.
Opposed?
Good job.
Don't put your hand up. Central Dispatch Finance Board appointments. Once again, I've been on that since the beginning, so I am not sure what we're doing here, but if we need to, I was on the finance and Matt is the secretary of the operations board, so. Matt, because that's been going on for, yeah. A lot of progress in a month, though. A lot of progress in the last 6 weeks.
Need a motion on that or not?
Do we need motions?
I'll nominate Tony if we.
Okay,
I'll nominate Tony and Matt to be members of the Central Dispatch Finance Board.
okay. First by Mike, second.
Second.
Tom, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
We opposed, or not opposed, abstain.
You might.
Yeah, here. Highway crew leader positions. Think you're up.
Morning, Chris.
How you doing?
I've been all right. Don't really know what I'm supposed to do here, but I do got a letter from Janice. She typed me up a letter just to kind of explain what we're wanting to do, and I'll start out by reading the letter. So it says the Daviess County Highway Department is requesting a change in the 2021 budget to establish a new line item two new line items for 2 crew leaders in the MVH fund and not filling the assistant foreman's position. The position would begin October 25th, 2021 for the 3 remaining payrolls for 21. The pay rate is $23.31 an hour, or $5,594.40 for the total of $11,188.80 for the remainder of 2021. The balance in the assistant foreman's position will be transferred to the 2 accounts along with Social Security, FICA, PERF, and insurance until the account is expended. And if needed, there is enough money in the overtime right now to cover it, and it'd be done in transfer from one account. I don't know if you guys need an explanation on it, or if,
I think the letter pretty well suffices. Does anybody have questions for Chris?
we're just
Comments?
doing a little reorganization of our
They showed
staff.
that in their budget.
Yeah. So as far as, we're good for next year. As far as this year, we need a motion to be able to do that.
I move that we approve the 2 crew lead positions and the funding identified as presented.
Okay, we have a first from Darren, second.
A second.
Second by Matt, all in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, good. Thanks, Chris.
Thanks, Chris.
In our packet, we have a motion or a pauper attorney rate to increase by $10 an hour. Anybody has any questions?
I have a comment maybe on it.
Yeah,
I think they're looking at like 11% increase. I don't know if that's typical of what we do or when the last time was done, since I wasn't here. But I'm more inclined to agree that we should keep it in the 3% range like we did the other county positions, which would be like $93 instead of 100.
additional comments, anyone?
I don't know, I mean, is there any other circumstances or justification provided?
The judges spoke to you,
They did, they
during the
said-
hearing regarding that.
Yeah, they said that, most surrounding counties are more than that, and they wanted to increase that to $100.
Just to be able to compete.
I think the money in the line items that they submitted was approved by your board. The only clarification that we need is for the hourly rate. And that was not clear in our recollection of what actually happened. So we just wanted clarity on that before we put a rate attached to that total dollar amount in that line item.
Questions, comments additionally?
So Patty, what you're saying is basically the money that we've approved for that, you just need it broken down to an hourly rate as opposed to just a lump sum.
Well, pauper attorney, that line particularly does have historical documents showing where they come back and ask for additional monies. So while that is somewhat true, the rate is what's going to drive what is dispersed. That total amount's not going to change unless they come back and ask more money from you. But that rate for disbursement needs to be set, and it was unclear if you had allowed the $100 or if we were remaining at the $90. So we need a clarification.
Yeah, it's as normal as Thanksgiving or Christmas. They come back and ask for that and coroner needing more money for body bag autopsies. Right to fall.
So you're saying leave the rate or adjust it?
I would adjust the rate. I mean, I think that's kind of what we've agreed to in the past.
To what number?
To the, what's requested, $100. I would make that motion.
Motion by Mike to change the rate for the pauper attorney from 90 to 100. Is there a second?
We've agreed to that, and then I'll second that.
Second by Matt. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Additional appropriations. Auditors and eligible fund, $248.80.
Auditors and eligible fund is non-taxpayer money. This is the company that we work with that works with our homesteads. They run an audit on it, and this was money recovered from an ineligible homestead. And once those fees were paid, we have to pay back TMA out of that, what we collected, so.
This is just to pay the bill.
The bill.
Motion to go ahead and move that money.
So moved.
So moved by Matt, second.
Yeah.
Darren, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
Okay, the next is the West Boggs transfers. We're gonna do all those together. Obviously, that's all fee-based, non-taxpayer money, their money. And I know we have problems, not problems, we have questions with some transfers, but this is all within their, I hate to say budget, but within their cash.
Does their board approve these prior to us taking a look at those as well?
You know,
I would assume, yes, I know that their board reviews their budget. On this, it's appropriated lines, and they're just moving funds to, again, maximize their disbursements. Whether or not that is something that their board signs off on, I'll have to ask Jameson to verify.
Okay. I would make a motion to approve the transfers as presented.
Motion to move the West Bucks transfer by Marilyn, second.
Second.
Mike, all in favor, aye.
Aye.
Community corrections. Grant money. The health insurance is the additional amount that,
Laura's here to talk.
okay, step on up.
The balance of our grant dollars that we're transferring to different funds, and our board did approve the transfers, and so did the Department of Correction. I just need approval to move money to each of these funds that we've explained in the documents here. Or if you have any questions, I'll try to answer them.
But this is within the grant.
This is the grant.
Yeah.
And they're trying to maximize the amount of dollars and use the grant money up
Before-
first.
Before
Right.
the end.
Yeah, or we'll basically lose it or have to send it back, so,
We'll send it back.
no. We'll try to use it all if we can. So, I mean, she's typed out where, I mean, I think you have this
Yeah.
form, yeah, just more specific to where things are going and, to try to, like Patty said, maximize our disbursements.
So like Laura said too, one of the things with the grant is, and it's in your documentation, that from the state, from the Department of Corrections, any revisement to the budget within that grant has to be approved by them, so.
Motion to allow the transfers within the grant of community corrections.
I so move.
First by Darren, second.
I'll second it.
By Tom, all in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you.
Thank you.
We have additional.
But this is the salary ordinance. It's okay, it's not a big deal. Right.
Okay. I do not.
Well, you have a copy of it?
Each of you should have a copy of that.
Yep.
So in front of you is the 2022 salary ordinance. This is an ordinance that's required. We do this after the budget is adopted for 2022. Basically, the salary ordinance is a tool that we use, and it's an audit tool that is very critical. Each one you'll see, each department, it looks different this year than what we've had in the past. We're using an Excel format. We're hoping that we'll be able to answer some questions by using Excel format, specifically if we need an answer on, as you see, Misty's worked on this, and we have the annual amount, and we have the biweekly amount, and we have the hourly amount, because at different times we have to use different calculations. But it's a good tool for you guys to use too, as far as comparison and things like that. But it is something that's required to be presented to you. It's an ordinance, and on the back page is a place for signatures after you approve it. And then if there's any changes to it, anyone in the county has to come back and we have to amend the salary ordinance, because that's what dictates. We cannot exceed the salary ordinance on those particular line items.
Patty, is this for 27 pays? Does it make a difference, or?
This one should be at the 27 pay. For 2022, because that's what we're dealing with. And then you'll also notice, there's a column there that talk about the hours. You know, different offices work different hours, so that's been noted for you. We've given the exact line items for those positions. Instead, we didn't give any of that information. We just gave the department and the title, whether it was second deputy or, you know, extra clerical, longevity, et cetera. But we've tried to give you more information, more specific information. So it does look different.
Yeah, it looks good, though.
Very much appreciated.
I like it.
Thank you.
So I present that to you and ask for, motion to approve that ordinance.
So moved?
First by Matt to approve the salary ordinance, basically from the budget of 2022. Second by Tom, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thanks, Patty. We have 2 packets of information in there, Board of Aviation minutes, West Boggs minutes. That's informational purposes only for us to look at. Unless I'm mistaken or my paper is not correct. That's it. You have anything else? Anybody up here, anything? Anybody in our audience? Guys in brown are good, attorney's good. All right, motion adjourned.
So moved.
First by Matt, second by Tom. All in favor?
Aye.
Stick around for signatures.